Rolling.
Oh.
Just like my car down the uninsured road.
Oh no. Hello everybody, my name is Forklift
I'm the caterpillar.
and we have a new guest member today. And it's...
The Ghost.
And the Ghost is here too. This is the Uncle Sham podcast, the third episode of the great series that still hasn't been heard by audiences.
Funnily enough, we have been a little bit slow on releasing our episodes.
And, well, you know, we started last week's episode with a song, and today we're going to start one with a song too. We don't know if the audience likes it or not, but I'm going to assume that they do because we are great singers.
Oh, definitely.
We're the best singers. What do you want to sing?
I think we could do a little bit of wagon wheel.
Let's do Wagon Wheel. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Heading down south to the land of the pines, and throw my way to North Carolina. Looking down the road, and pray to God I see headlights. Moving down the cool 17 hours, picking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers, and I'm hoping for Riley I can see my baby tonight. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey.
All right.
And that was the TLDR version of the song. We
Yeah,
kind of meshed the first and second verse and the
Hell
chorus
yeah.
into one thing.
Hey, that's how we do it. I think I like to mix it up a bit when it comes to music.
Yeah, I like to do songs the way I do my HSP, mix it up, you know.
I think at the end of last week's episode, we said we were going to talk about something.
I don't know what, but I cannot. I think we were waiting on audience. To ask
audience
us.
opinion.
But we had a popular opinion from the zero of you, and that is
Films. All right. Where do we even start with film? What's the oldest movie everyone's seen? Moyib. I mean, Ghost.
Well, the oldest ever movie that I have seen is actually a South Indian film called Jeans.
Jeans. What's it about?
It's a romantic comedy about twins.
Nice. That's pretty funny. Is it in black and white or is
No,
it
it's in colour.
It's in color.
Yeah.
You haven't
Ooh.
seen anything like in the black and white times,
Well,
like even from the 70s.
Yes, I have. A lot of South Indian movies.
Yeah.
There is one called Ayrathil which is like 1,001.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
1 in 1,000. That's the
Oh,
translation.
1 in 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the oldest one ever could be Singing in the Rain and most of Charlie Chaplin movies.
Nice.
Yeah. What about?
Do you have a favorite Charlie Chaplin? Have you? I haven't seen a single Charlie Chaplin movie. Have you seen-
Actually, I don't have any favorites in Charlie Chaplin because I love all of it.
Oh, okay. I've seen clips of that one about Hitler.
Yeah, I've seen a few Charlie Chaplin shorts, just scrolling by in different media, like YouTube or Instagram or whatever it may be. But I've seen a few of the shorts.
I've seen the speech, like where he says, "Let us all unite and fight for a new world where we can do away with greed. Man are not like do not treat people like cattle. We are men." That speech. That's a great
Yeah.
speech.
I think it was a pretty epic
I don't know.
speech.
What's the oldest movie you've ever seen?
I know there's a lot, but not a lot comes to my mind.
I have
think,
one in my mind right now that's going to like nuclear bomb and everybody's going to be like, "Oh, how did I not think of it?" But
For me, it might be French Connection, maybe.
French Connection.
There's
yeah.
probably older ones that I've seen.
You know, Star Wars Episode 4 is older than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
You know,
It feels... damn, okay.
2001: A Space Odyssey is older than that.
Oh, fair. I might be
2000
thinking of a different film then, maybe.
Wow, that's
I'm
great
thinking
for
of
the
like-
audio, that bug right now.
I'm thinking of like an older film, like a pretty old film.
I've got one.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, yeah.
Snow White.
Oh, I've seen one
Came out
older
in
than
like
that.
the 1930s.
Did it?
I've seen, yeah. Oh, you'll
That's
have to
fair.
look
No,
it
that's
up, but
you're actually right. You're actually right.
I've seen Train Coming Into the Station, which is a really old film where they just filmed a train going into a station. Oh, A Trip to the Moon.
Yes.
I've
Yes.
seen that. Have you seen Trip to the Moon?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, that's one of the oldest pieces of cinema.
Yeah. I'll see when that was made.
What's everybody's favorite like retro film that kind of still stands up today?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
I can't think of any.
You got what about like Star Wars Episode 4? You still think that's a good film today, or do you think it's out of date?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's out of date, but it's more like, It's been there for generations, so I'd say it's still holding on to the modern
Yeah.
audience and possibly the future audience.
Yeah, I think definitely still holds up. Like, it's a cultural phenomenon
Yeah.
even now today. You know, we've got the progression of the newer Star Wars films more recently, but the whole
Yeah.
Star Wars franchises, I think, continued as a cultural phenomenon for quite a number
Yeah,
of years.
and it's because of those first ones. Yeah, so what's the release date of Snow White?
I was checking the moon one, but I'll check Snow White now. But the moon, so A Trip to the Moon was 1902. It's a
1902.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's like the year after Queen Victoria died. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
So, Snow White, 1937. The film
1937.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
I reckon it still stands up for a 1937 film.
I think it does. It's still a
Yes.
classic. Like, I saw it as a child with my sister, and it was just one of those animated films. You know what I
Those
mean? Like,
moments.
obviously graphically, it's less quality than some of the
Yep.
newer ones, but
Yep.
it still holds up definitely.
So you don't really have a film like a retro film that you see as like a film that like really stands out today.
Well, I mean, for me, I say one of Stanley Kubrick movies.
I would agree about the Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Why? Do you have any retro films that you think you watch nowadays and you're like, that's still amazing?
That's a really good question. I will think.
And I also have another director in mind.
Yeah.
Akira Kurosawa.
Akira Kurosawa?
Yeah, Kurosawa.
Yeah, I've heard about him.
A couple of his movies, especially there was this one particular scene. I don't know the name, but it was like behind the scene feature. It was a mishap, like when the main character is cutting his enemy, the blood was not supposed to sprout out like a fountain,
Oh,
but due to a pump failure,
Yeah.
it did. But that still holds up till the current audience because
Oh.
that was considered as an art.
okay, nice.
I
Till
guess it
now-
depends. Sorry.
No,
I
sorry.
guess it depends how old we're thinking of. Because for me, like a relatively new one that I think still holds up is,
Yeah.
you know, things like The Godfather and The French Connection. I
Have
really
you seen
like them.
Godfather?
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen. I watched like the first 20 minutes and fell asleep.
Damn.
Well,
I
say
don't remember the Godfather at all. I remember the first scene where he's
Yeah.
like, "Buonasera, you come here on my daughter's wedding," and he's like, and then like I fell asleep right after that. But you like Goodfellas, right?
Oh, I love Goodfellas. Not as much as I used to because I have a little bit more taste
Yeah,
now.
Wyatt's
but,
favorite film used to be Goodfellas, like for a long time.
Yeah, somewhat unironically as well. Like, I've definitely expanded
I
my
don't think it's a
film
bad movie,
horizons. It's not a bad one. I still would probably rate it pretty well.
Do you like Goodfellas?
actually, I haven't seen Goodfellas.
You've never seen Good? Oh wow!
I've
Have you
the
seen Godfather?
Yes,
okay,
I
I
have
haven't seen
Godfather. I've seen Godfather 1 and 2, but not the third one.
not the third one.
But yeah, I was a kid. I just watched 1 and 2. That's it.
Oh, okay. Did you like him?
Yes, I did.
Fair.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I had to because I was watching it with my dad.
Yeah, and he likes it.
He likes it. I like it, so it's fine.
I might watch it.
But-
I might try to watch it. I just don't have a lot of time.
Yeah. I think what's another good old
I
one?
like Come and See.
Come and See.
I like
Yeah,
Russian
actually,
films.
no, you're thinking
Is
of
it,
that,
does
you're
anyone have
right.
a favorite like Soviet or Russian film?
Honestly, unironically, probably Come and
Come and
See.
See.
There's another one I really want to watch, The Color of Pomegranate, but I
Oh,
haven't
that's
seen it
not
yet.
that's not Soviet. That's like
I mean,
Chilean or something.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, there might be a different one I'm thinking of because it was. Let
Yeah, The
me
Colour of
figure it
Pomegranate.
out.
That is a.
Damn,
that
I'm falling
is-
off today. What is it? Which one am I thinking?
Oh no,
of?
it is Russian. You're right. It is Russian.
Oh, okay,
I thought
well-
it was. I thought it was. There's another film like by a Chilean director with a very similar
Oh, okay.
visual style. Oh yeah. That one's Russian. What's the one I'm thinking? I don't know. There's another film in like the same genre
Yeah.
by a Chilean director. It's kind of like I think it's like inspired by The Color of Pomegranates. But yeah, that's right. It's a Russian film.
I think as well. This film, I think Mirror, it might be called.
I think we watched Mirror.
Yeah, we did. I thought it was good.
I got to rewatch it because I've tried to watch it twice and I keep falling asleep.
Fair.
I don't know why. It's just I watched enough of it to know what it's generally about, but I liked the visuals in it. It's so clean.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I have to see Stalker too. Stalker.
Oh yes, we really need.
Have
to
you
watch
seen Stalker, Moeeb?
Oh, which Stalker are we talking about?
Andrei Tarkovsky.
Yes.
What did you think of it?
I mean, anything Andrei Tarkovsky does is pretty good.
It's
so,
pretty- yeah. He's like the Stanley Kubrick, but like the inverse Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
He's like I don't know who's like Superman and Batman out of Stanley Kubrick and Andrei Tarkovsky.
I'd say, no, definitely Andrei Tarkovsky as Superman.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I
Because
think
Stanley Kubrick is Batman because of how psychologically demanding Stanley Kubrick's movies are. While Andrei Tarkovsky's movies also requires that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it also brings more. Some of his movies brings more of a hopeful meaning to it.
Yep.
Or making people understand that this is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Stanley Kubrick movies, it's more like, well, this is how people are. You can't change them.
Yep.
Not unless you make them or force them to. That's how
Interesting.
yeah.
I think Tarkovsky's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a few other good older films I've just found here.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life, the
I've never
1946
seen that.
film. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Then The Great Escape and The
Yeah.
Bridge on the River Kwai.
I know all the names, but I haven't seen them.
I think they're just classics.
They're just classics. I know about the classics. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I just haven't seen them. I'm just like, yeah.
And
I don't know.
going back to favorite Russian movies,
Yeah.
I have quite a few, but I only know two of the names. The rest I don't know.
Yeah.
One is Attraction. It's a science fiction romantic movie about an
Ooh.
alien
Oh,
falling
yep.
in love with a human.
Okay, cool.
I
I gotta look up that one.
Yeah. I've heard about that one actually.
I've never heard of that. When was it made?
It's a modern movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Russian action film, right?
Yeah, science fiction action.
Yeah, it's like not that new, not that old, like 7 years or something. I think it was
2007. It was released on 2007.
17 or 7?
17.
yeah.
It's
it
not
was
highly
Fedor-
rated on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
so
but
is
still, I kind of liked it
it? Okay, cool.
because when it comes to when it comes to CGI between Hollywood and other industry,
Yeah.
Hollywood tends to put CGI in a very safe space. Only very few people tend to expand it in a more creative side.
Yeah.
This movie, on the other hand, it's fully CGI. It has so many full CGI action
Oh, okay.
sequences, and
Yeah.
they nailed it. It was like as if the cameraman took the camera inside a CGI world and started shooting both aliens
Oh.
fighting each other.
Nice.
It's like that.
Okay, cool.
And another movie would be Meher Grom. It's like
Meher
Major
Grom.
Grom. It's a police superhero action comedy.
Yeah.
It's about a detective
Yeah.
who tends to break all the rules and starts, apprehending criminals. He has this sense it's very similar to Sherlock Holmes,
Okay.
but the problem is that whenever he sees that, he always sees how he's gonna die, so
Oh.
that he would try to do another way so that he cannot die.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's
It's
good.
quite a fun movie too to watch. I read the comic books too. Mayor
Oh,
Grom has a comic book, and
Grom.
later I watched the movie, and then I was like, I got hooked up. A sequel's
Nice.
coming up too this year. So
Oh wow,
Oh.
very nice.
Wow.
And we definitely need to watch Solaris as well. Actually,
Solaris. You've seen Solaris.
yes,
You
I
saw it
have.
as a kid.
Yeah.
I was talking to you about it because I've seen about 40 minutes of it, but I literally fell asleep in that one.
You be falling asleep.
It's just so slow.
Yeah.
I think. Also, I watch movies when I'm like at the end of like something big by myself. It's always when I watch movies by myself. But yeah, no, I watched a whole bunch of movies by myself at one point. I watched The Joker. I watched Dallas Buyers Club. I watched Fight Club, and I watched just all like tons of movies. Because I had a Netflix subscription for a long time, but I never used it. I just watched. I think I used to watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I hated Brooklyn. I'm not a big fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's so like The Office is a better show, like objectively. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. Hey,
I think it's just
that's what we're
Brooklyn-
here for. We're here to hear opinions and give opinions.
Yeah, no, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I didn't love it, but I used to just watch that, and then I tried to watch Haiku or something.
Oh, Haikyuu, like that anime.
the Japanese,
Yeah, the one about like volleyball.
I just hated that one.
Yeah,
too.
that's fair. Maybe you're not much of an anime guy.
I like Studio Ghibli though.
Oh yeah, that's fair, but it's a little bit,
Does
very different.
anyone have a favorite Ghibli film?
Ooh.
well, that's a very difficult question. I think I'd say Princess Mononoke.
Princess Mononoke.
Mononoke.
Yeah, I don't hate that one.
I'll say.
I like it. I like Arrietty and When Marnie Was There. Though I don't know, I just really like the vibes of those movies.
And I also say I have another interest in Porco Rosso.
Porco Rosso.
which we watched together in 2022.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mind Porco Rosso.
Yeah.
And also, I don't mind. I don't know. Boy and the Heron was good. Did you see that
I
one?
haven't seen it yet.
No,
It was
I haven't seen
good.
that
I just
either,
didn't think.
actually, yeah.
I didn't think Boy and the Heron was amazing. I thought it was good.
I like
But that's a.
The Wind Rises was a good one.
The
that
Wind
I-
Rises is so depressing.
really-
though.
I
It make-
really
it makes
liked
you
it.
so sad. And
Howl's Moving Castle, another really good one in my opinion.
Howl's. See, I think I'm one of those people that goes like, I don't see the vision with Howl's Moving Castle, but I realize a lot of its biggest fans are just like young women who think the character of Howl is like really attractive. And I'm like,
Oh, fair.
but it's like one of those things that's like, oh, you got to watch it. It's so good. And then you watch it and you're like, oh, yeah, that was all right, but it wasn't great. Like, the fire guy was funny. What else? I don't know. Spirited Away is good.
Yeah, that's a. I mean, I watched when I
That's
was a kid, so I can't quite remember.
I watched it.
And
Yeah.
it was a bit scary too at the time. When I was a kid, it was scary, so
Yeah.
I still haven't touched that movie yet.
I watched Spirited Away when I was in grade 9 for class. I was so confused.
Yeah.
I'd never watched anything remotely Japanese. Like, I'd never watched anime before, so
Yeah,
this was
okay.
so weird.
So it was a very like different experience.
It reminded me of Adventure Time, but it was like way more realistic than Adventure Time. So I was like, damn, this is scary as hell. But the food looked kind of good. When I was a kid, when I was like in grade 9, I was like, hey, the food looks kind of good though. But the pig scene, and I was like, damn. And when I reached the end, I was like, you know what? That actually was pretty good. But I when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is so dumb. And then I got to the end, and I was like, that kind of went hard. Privately though.
Speaking of anime movies,
Yeah.
there is quite. I mean, I guess neither of you watched any anime TV shows.
No,
like that.
Wyatt loves anime. He's seen like most
Yeah.
animes.
Oh,
sorry.
not most
No,
animes. There's
he's
like
seen
a lot
tons
out there.
of
I've
them.
seen
He's
a
seen
few.
tons of
yeah.
them.
Yeah, phew. Have you guys heard of Attack on Titan?
I have
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
of it.
I
I
have-
haven't seen it.
I have heard of it, but I haven't seen it yet. I've heard it is a bit of a flop, from what I know.
Well,
I think-
that's wrong though.
No, he's basically Paul Atreides, isn't he? The
Yeah,
main character.
Eren
Yeah.
Yeager is basically Paul Atreides.
I've heard that. It's like I was watching a thing. It's like everything is just June. Like Star Wars is just June, and then Attack on Titan is just June. And I was like,
Oh, I don't know. From what I know, Attack on Titan is a bit different.
no,
Like,
no, it's just June,
it's quite
isn't it?
similar because
Is it?
I read the entire manga and I watched the whole.
right. I haven't
season
I haven't heard
before.
anything.
Like-
I know like a little bit
It's
about,
about,
you know,
but
there's, like,
think
big
about this:
old-
people in like a land that like are oppressed by other like super ultimate power beings. The Fremen live in the land of Arrakis, and the Harkonnen and the Sardaukar army are like smashing him, right? In Attack on Titan, it's these people in this little like European village with these mega walls, and these mega Titan things come over and they like kill them, don't they?
Yeah.
But
Not
then
kill
they
them,
have
eat
these.
them.
Okay. Yeah.
They
yeah.
eat them. They eat them.
And also, there is another place where they send the Titans.
Okay,
Humans would
like-
send the Titans to attack the people inside the wall.
Oh.
So it's like
okay.
it's like
It's like a
there's
war between two
political
people.
yeah, and then they like rise up and they make these like legions, like legionary forces to like fight them, like
Yeah,
they
and-
do in June.
Like at first, it was supposed to be a scout regiment group. They are like they go outside the walls and
For
kill.
like the Attack on Titan.
Yeah, the Attack on Titan.
yeah.
So they go out and
outside
they
the
attack.
walls and they try to take all the Titans out.
Yeah.
So that they'll have a safe haven to the other world.
Yeah,
But over time, they realize after the main character Eren's powers started increasing.
Yeah.
They realize that there is more to Titan powers than it meets the eye.
Yeah.
And apparently, all the Titans were once humans.
ah,
So
okay,
Okay.
but essentially, what's his name? Eren.
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 Eren Yeager. He's a general.
Eren Yeager essentially just becomes a genocidal Hitler.
Yes.
Oh, and
Like-
who's that? Who is?
He's the main guy. He's Paul Atreides. Because Paul
Right.
Atreides becomes genocidal. He's not the hero.
Damn.
He's like commits a genocide.
I haven't
for the-
seen this film yet, so I just be a little bit.
not in June Part 2. You'll see like June Part 2. This is like June Messiah I'm talking about, which is like later on in the story.
Oh, okay. But
June
you just
Part
know
2
the story.
I know the story
yeah,
because
okay.
my mum has read some of the June books, and she's told me about what happens and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
My mum really loves June. Yeah.
So coming to the point, So over time, goes from the story goes from people trying to save the ones inside the walls
Yeah.
to hunt titans on the outside of the walls to a full-blown genocidal war between two
Yeah.
islands.
Yeah,
Oh,
it just
okay.
becomes a genocide.
Damn.
That's like what happens. It just descends into madness.
That's on madness,
But
bro.
one part that did confuse me at first when I was watching the anime was, or reading the manga was, how the hell could Eren travel back in time with his half brother and manipulate his dad into killing people? That's kind of a spoiler, but when I watched the manga, it made more sense, and
Yeah.
it actually kind of terrified me.
Damn.
Interesting that time travel and the bending of time is also in Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
not
also
time
in
travel,
June.
it's just
Oh, really?
time bending. Like,
That's crazy.
It's not, no, because Paul has the visions, remember?
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah,
always
yeah,
dreaming of the
okay.
girl
Of
on
the
Arrakis
future,
who
yeah,
becomes
yeah.
Chani. Like, Chani, he meets Chani, and then he sees, like, because I'm talking about the first movie, he sees
Yeah, yeah,
Jessica's
yeah.
pregnant. She's like, oh, I only just found out. He's like, I know that you're pregnant. He keeps saying things, and then he's like, in the tent, before Duncan Idaho gets there, and then he's like, it's like a war in my name, legions bowing to the skull of my father. You know, like he has that dream, and then he's like, and then he calls his mum. He says, "You Bene Gesserit made me a freak." You remember that?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he has that bad dream because Paul can see the future, and like the long exposure to spice makes him more and more like, I guess, powerful, until he does something pretty nuclear in the next film. In two ways, actually.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he does two things. Oh, he does like three things that are like nuclearly extreme.
Damn, okay, fair.
Yeah. No, but what else? What were we talking about?
we're talking about Attack on Titan.
Yeah, we were
Attack on
talking about
Titan.
like anime and stuff.
Animes and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Moe proceeded to, Ghost proceeded to name one of the major animes I have not yet watched.
Oh, you should watch. I guess you should watch it. But you said it was
Yeah.
a flop. Who said
I
that?
I've just
where did
heard
you get?
like
I know why people consider the flop is because of the ending.
Mm.
But everyone thinks a hero should win,
Yeah.
not to die, right?
Ah.
Here in this case, this is a bit of a spoiler, and I guess audience haven't
I'm going to try and
watched it.
throw this into the bin while you talk, okay?
okay,
Yeah.
I believe.
Let's just
in-
say audience haven't watched it yet.
Completely missed.
Damn, looks like it went
Someone just
directly
tried to
into
kill
the
me
bin.
because I tried to spoil stuff. But anyway, let me continue. It. So because it involves some sort of manipulation and evil stuff of Eren doing things and killing people, creating a mass genocide,
Yeah.
just to protect the people inside the walls. In the end, he dies. Like he gets killed by none other than the person that he loved the most.
Damn.
Hey yo,
That's kind of a cool. That's cool though. I
That's
like
pretty
that.
mad.
That's kind
I
of.
don't know.
It's really cool, but the
Yeah.
audience they expect Eren to have a happy ending.
Oh.
fair. I mean,
Like, because-
bro, but if he was genocidal, don't give him a good ending.
Like from season 1 to 3, Eren always talks about freedom for him and his friends and his family and the people inside the walls.
Right,
But
yeah.
in season 4, it ends on him getting the freedom for everyone except for himself.
Right. So, like, what kind of things? Like, what? How is he like a genocidal kind of dude? Like, what
By
does he
the end,
do?
he just wants to kill everyone, doesn't he?
Yeah, he kind of goes and he first starts attacking other human-based super titans because they have the blood of an ancient person, Ymir.
Oh,
That's how
okay.
the transformation of titans are formed. So anyone with that blood has kind of the ability to transform into titans.
Yeah. And to think it all started with American football. I'm referencing the movie Remember the Titans. Have you seen that movie?
Yes, it's a great. Aiden, one of my work
Yeah,
colleagues,
he loves
genuinely
it.
loves
He
it.
loves that movie.
We told him we were going to be watching that at uni one night, and he started nearly crying with how good it was. He was like, "Oh yeah, man, it's like such a great film, mate."
No, because I said it was kind of. I was like, oh, it was alright. He's like, remember the Titan, dude? That's a goated movie.
Dude, that's so goated, bro. I nearly cried at the end, bro. It was so good.
He's a good guy though.
He's
He would be
mad. I
great on
freaking
this
love
show,
that
but
dude.
I think he's too powerful for this show. I think he would just. But he'd be good actually.
He would be
I just,
so
I
good
don't
on
know.
the show.
He's-
If we could
he's
get him
too-
on, he would be amazing.
He's too busy for this show though. But no, yeah. Anyone else got like what about the modern era of like cinema and what does everyone think of the direction of that currently?
Well, I'll be honest with you, the modern era cinema. Well, let me start with Hollywood first. They
Yeah.
just remake every old movies and they try to remake
But
that.
that's the big Hollywood.
Yeah,
I'm
the big-
but what about like the kind of independent Hollywood films?
The independent Hollywood films, well, they're trying something new. They rather than their aim is not to make money, but their aim is to tell the story, the visuals, the art style to the audience so that it can reach them.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. I think big Hollywood like sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
To the most extent,
Yeah.
definitely.
Like
yeah.
one example for both of you when it comes to big Hollywood,
yeah.
the very recent announcement and teaser for The Crow.
The Crow, they remade The Crow.
Yeah.
I didn't,
I
even
didn't
know
see that.
No.
Yeah, I haven't
Jesus,
seen that.
You guys didn't
The,
know
on-
about
the,
it?
the newest film that I'm like, is that new Star Wars one.
Yeah.
Oh, which one was that?
What's it called?
No, it's not new Star Wars. They announced a TV series called Acolyte.
Acolyte. Yeah, that new. It's not a film, okay, but yeah, that's the one that I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
well,
That
that's-
takes place before the Sith and Jedi
Oh, okay.
war. It's like way before.
Oh, like so. This is like pre-history.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Like
I
is
think
it in a galaxy far, a long time ago, in a
even
galaxy
further
far,
away,
far
I
away.
guess. Yeah,
Well, at least Star Wars is trying something new rather than
that's
just,
true.
Yeah.
but it is still Star Wars.
Yeah.
like it's still the same film franchise, still in the same stuff. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there is a, it may
But
be
I
good.
agree with
I
the
haven't
remakes.
seen more recent Star Wars stuff, so this may be completely wrong. But there is a certain extent to where you stop milking the cow. You stop
Yeah.
milking the cash cow, so as to speak, because it just gets. There's only a certain level
Yeah.
of content you can make to a good level from a particular storyline or a particular universe.
I
The
think it's
new
just-
stuff may be wonderful. I haven't seen a lot of it yet, so I could be completely wrong.
Mandalorian
But
season 1's good,
yeah, okay, yeah.
and apparently the Clone Wars show is good. The kid
Oh no, the
one.
Clone Wars show is good. I
I
like
haven't
that.
seen it. No, but what do you think of? So you think that modern big blockbuster Hollywood is like kind of sucks? But I
Yes.
agree. I agree with that. I think that everybody agrees. But like, what about other aspects of film industries and stuff like that?
For me, oh sorry, yeah, you go.
Well,
I think Indian cinema's looking good at the moment.
Indian cinema is getting better, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I think. I haven't
except
seen it.
for the big Hollywood,
Yeah.
other countries are improving their cinematic scale.
Like Bollywood,
I'm not just
not
saying,
Bollywood. You don't like.
I'm not just saying Bollywood. Bollywood
Yeah.
is practically like the big Hollywood.
So you
because
think
they
that
just remake
Bollywood?
stuff.
Yeah. Okay, fair. So Bollywood is not going well.
I'd say they are trying their best,
They're trying their best.
but they still haven't.
But the Tamil, you like the Tamil cinema?
Tamil, Telugu, and Malayalam cinema,
Okay.
and then the Kannada cinema. These four
Yep.
cinemas are the ones. These four are South Indian.
Yeah.
South Indian.
Yep.
And I actually kind of like when I was a kid, I had an interest in Bollywood cinema more than the South Indian cinemas.
Yep.
Even though that I grew up in South India.
Yeah, okay.
But the more I realized about storytelling, I started having a newfound interest in South Indians.
Yeah, there was this great film we watched at the cinema one time.
Jawan.
Yeah,
Jawan is actually North Indian cinema, by the way. It's
Yeah,
Bollywood.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
so.
yeah.
I thought
yeah,
so. I
no,
was
it
gonna
does.
say.
Yeah, definitely. But I was,
Is it Salar? What's that?
Salar is a South Indian.
South Indian. Yeah.
But
yeah.
the reason why Jawan stand out compared to other Bollywood movies is that not just it was just directed by a South
Athlete.
Indian director.
Yep.
The story.
Yeah,
The story
yeah,
was
I
really
loved
good.
the
I really
story.
liked the story.
I liked the film a lot actually.
I like the direction of it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I did. You've shown me a few good films, like Southern Indian films, like
Yeah.
was it The Beast? Is that what it was called?
No, definitely not the Beast, but
What about
Beast is still fun to watch.
That's
yeah, yeah.
RRR, yeah.
What's that?
Is that South?
That's South.
What's
Oh,
that? What about
wow.
that
I
like
thought
that
it was-
mad like soldier guy who comes in and then like in the middle of the story or towards the end, this like kid gets blown up from a wall or something, and then like
That's Beast,
yeah,
actually.
yeah. So I've seen
Beast?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then there's like this mall sort of thing. What's the
Yeah.
that one with? Yeah.
The mall thing.
Oh, with
they-
the car. They put the car in the mall.
The car and
I've
the
seen
mall.
that clip.
Yeah. What's the one with where there's like a whole hostage situation?
It's the same
The
movie,
same.
Beast.
Yeah, that was a good film. I liked that.
I like that one.
I'd
I
say
thought that was pretty mad. I remember like the songs are like you were filming me like dancing to the songs, but I thought they were pretty epic, bro.
Yeah.
well,
yeah.
I'd say I mean, I'll admit Beast story was good. Like it's just a hijack story.
Yeah.
And the main character, an ex-raw agent, he's inside already and he starts helping people. But the problem was behind the production of that movie. Because they kind of rushed the whole film
Yeah.
just for the fans and the actor.
Oh, okay, for like profit in that, or
They're profiting,
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of in a way profiting that. They rushed it. And they just want to like still show the star power of the main character, Vijay himself.
Yeah, he's
VJ,
pretty
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I like him as an actor.
Is
He's
that
good.
VJ Singh or
No, not Vijay
Raja?
Singh. His name is Vijay.
Just VJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
His full name is Joseph Vijay Chandrasekhar.
Sundar Shagar.
Yeah.
Okay.
But people call him Talapati, which means the
Talapati.
kingmaker.
Okay.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, that's mad, bro.
Actually, he did something. I really want to talk to you about it.
Okay.
He did something quite recently.
Yeah.
He actually quit acting.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Yeah. He's going to release his last 2 movies, and then he's officially done with
So
acting.
he's already finished filming them. They're just like in the post-production phase, or is he still currently acting?
He's
in
currently
them?
acting 2 more movies.
Like they just film. They still have yet to film them.
Yes.
And then he's got. Okay. Yeah.
Then he's quitting because he started his own political party in Tamil Nadu.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's
What,
the
yeah.
direction of that one?
Actually, I don't know the name, but I can search it up for you real quick.
Yeah. What kind of things does he believe in? I guess. And what direction does he want to set?
Maybe he cares a lot about film.
Yeah.
Actually, quite the opposite, because from how I know him, because I'm a fan of him ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good things about him.
Yeah.
People talk
Yeah.
a lot of good things about him.
Yeah.
And he always helped people behind the camera or in front of the camera, whatever. He does help people, like, doesn't matter. And he's always humble to everyone.
So he's just like a stand-up bloke, I guess.
Yeah. A stand-up bloke with a kindness to him. Like,
Damn,
he's just
yeah.
a simple guy. Even though he's rich, he's just simple. He just goes around, smiles, say hi, and
Damn,
people
it'd be
who are
yeah.
in need. And he started this political party with his fans.
Damn.
What is the
Yeah, it'd be-
title of
it'd be
the
cool to
political
see what
party?
it
The
was
title
about.
is Tamilaga Vetri Kalagam, which means Tamil Nadu Victory Federation.
Oh, okay.
So what is like what?
What's the kind of
Yeah. What do they
direction
want
of
to
that
do
one?
with that, or what are their beliefs, or policies they want to do? I guess.
Well, they just started it.
Yep.
They just started it. There is not yet any big announcements
Right.
come up yet.
But, like-
their primary goal is to serve the people.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good. If that's what
Alright.
they're doing, then that'd be a good
Yeah.
direction.
So what about other political not political film like avenues like that you see in the world going in certain directions, like in the modern world?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that question.
So like what do you think of the other? So you don't like big Hollywood, like
Yeah.
you're not liking it, not really big Bollywood either. You like South Indian. What about other not political film stuff that's going on?
Well, Japanese cinema.
Yeah, it's
Japanese
good.
cinema.
I
I've been
haven't watched a lot of it.
ever since I was a kid. Japanese and Chinese cinema.
Oh, Chinese.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially, I mean, when it comes to Chinese, it was mostly Jackie Chan. It was mostly all the martial artists,
Yeah.
every actors who did stunts with
And
them.
they're still good nowadays.
Well, nowadays the modern Chinese has divulging into more of a fantasy-like
I
storytelling.
have seen quite a few things. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't been getting into it. I don't really love fantasy
Yeah.
movies.
But back then, they had really good skills to bring the story to life.
Yeah.
Let's just say, for example, a simple one, Police Story, Jackie Chan's movie.
Yeah.
The thing about the Hollywood and the Chinese cinema is that Hollywood, they tend to be on the safe space all the time.
Yeah.
But the Chinese cinema, they tend to expand it. Like, they don't need to be in safe. If they want a story to be told, they just tell it. They don't care how it goes wrong, whatever it is. They just bring it. I'd say the modern times, it's kind of going the same way, but
Yeah.
it has completely gone down, I'd say.
Okay. Fair. So yeah, I guess Wyatt, what do you think of the modern state of cinema?
Yeah, so I definitely concur with what Mawib was saying there, and especially what he was saying about big cinema.
Yeah.
But I love the directions that we're seeing coming from more indie films.
Yeah,
I
the
love,
indie
there's so
films,
many
yeah.
good films that have, it depends how modern we're thinking, but, there are so many good films like Good Time or Heaven Knows What. Those are great
the
films.
Safdie brother
You know,
films. I think
exactly.
the kind of not the early ones, but the kind of not the most recent. I haven't seen that show with Nathan Fielder and Emma Stone by the Safdie brothers, and I didn't really like Uncut Gems. Have you? What you've seen Uncut?
I did. I
Yeah.
have seen Uncut Gems. I saw
liked
the
it,
vision,
yeah?
but
Yeah.
I didn't. It wasn't the best movie I've seen.
Not
It was
the best
pretty good.
execution,
I
Yeah.
saw what they were trying to do,
hey? Yeah.
and I think they, to a certain extent, accomplished what they were trying to do, but it
Yeah.
didn't hit with me that well.
Yeah.
It was. There are other films that I've seen, like
Yeah.
you know, Heaven Knows What and
And
Good
Good
Time.
Time, yep.
They hit massively with me. Like I really
agree
liked
with
them.
that. Yeah.
But I think it was they were going for a different vibe, which
Hmm.
wasn't necessarily my specific vibe.
yeah, I just couldn't get. I don't know. Uncut Gems wasn't really that much of a hit, really.
Yeah,
like in my head.
Other than that, there's some really good, like, so many other things, like so many, like even bigger films, like
Yeah.
Saltburn.
Saltburn,
Tenet.
yeah.
I love like Saltburn and Tenet. There's
Oh, Tenet, yeah.
yeah, there's some really good
Have
films.
you seen Oppenheimer?
No, I'm so like unfortunately not, but it's coming to Netflix soon, I believe, so I'll be watching it there
Yeah,
if I
yeah.
can't beforehand.
Yeah.
There's some, but so like, I think there are some great films coming out, and I think in any time that will be true. You know, there's always going to be in history. You look back at any year, and there will be some great films. There'll be some good films. There'll be some okay films, and there'll be some films you don't necessarily vibe with.
Yeah, but that's kind of You're
Exactly.
right.
So,
I think history is kind of continuing.
Yeah, but I think
in the
as
same
we,
pattern.
you know, I think as we go forward, there's more and more media going out. So just statistically, there's going to be more and more that's going to be good, and that I'm
Yeah,
going
more
to
and more good
enjoy.
stuff,
And you know,
yep.
so I think I really like the direction. I really like the Australian government actually has produced a new sort of like strategy. They're doing more funding for the arts and like film in Australia.
Yeah.
So like I think that'll be even really good for our Aussie film because I
Yeah.
love a lot of Aussie film is really good.
That's good.
It's
yeah.
well made. There's like a lot of good sort of consideration made in Aussie films.
Yeah. So you like kind of indie Hollywood, and you like Australian films? Like in the modern era, you think there's... I think I agree with that. There is a few huge films that have been really good.
Like
Yeah.
I agree with Wyatt too. On that.
Yeah,
Like,
I
indie
think there's
mov-
also some. Sorry, you continue.
No. apologies.
There's some good from other genres as well, definitely. But I think from what we've been seeing from the indie thriller horror scene, the sort of more artistic films, and the Aussie cinema scene,
Yep.
that's really, I think, what I'm really vibing with at the moment
Yep.
is those sorts of directions. And I
Yeah.
think they have a lot of potential to grow and a lot of potential to do well. Like, you know, it's just, there's so much you can do with them.
Yeah.
And that's what I like, is when they use these really good shots and these really crazy colors, or even like using tension to make you just absolutely feel not at ease when you're watching a scene. Like if
Yeah.
they can do that, like even if it's not a scary horror thing, if it's like a thriller or psychological, if they can make you feel not comfortable and not at home when you're in your bed watching a film, that is amazing to me.
Yeah.
And that's sort of,
Definitely.
that's what I vibe with.
Yeah. I think... yeah, there is like a few undercover Australian gems of like great cinema that nobody's ever seen, like Lake Mungo.
Yeah, I love Lake Mungo.
Like
that
Lake
was
Mungo
that was
like, so unexpected.
You showed me that film after we watched that terrible film. What was that film called? Like Devil's Playhouse or something like that.
I don't know.
Or like
that movie
the,
sucked.
The haunting of something. It was this.
Whatever
There was
it
this
was.
film
It's just-
about
it's
this like.
mid as hell.
It was this film
You can
about this
tell that
like.
they just chopped it into something.
Yeah,
different
it was this like doco style film where they like
it's just
went into this. They were trying to make this haunted house attraction
Yeah,
thing,
and then it turned
out it was
actually
actually
haunted.
haunted, and it was
such a
not that
stupid-
good.
it
But
was-
Lake Mungo was like
Lake Mungo was just a
legitimately
genius film.
a good film. Like
you
I
know what?
really like it.
I think I heard this from someone. It was like great cinema is like you don't actually really know what's going to happen next, but like to understand the end of the film, you have to understand the motivation from the character to go from the first circumstance to the next circumstance. And like when you watch like films like Fight Club, which is not really modern anymore.
Yeah,
it's from
but
the
it's
90s.
it's an amazing
But
film though.
you never really like the first time you watch Fight Club, and if you don't know what it's about, you really don't know where this film's going.
I agree.
Because you're like I know this because Tyler knows this, and it's like what is he even talking about
Yeah,
here? And then
exactly.
it's like it's like
There's so many weird
it's like
things that like
Tyler's project Project Mayhem. But it's like you watch so much of the film, but you forget that like this Tyler guy at the end of the film is going to be putting a gun in his mouth, because you're like starting off. It's like Marla Singer. I'm going to confront her one day. She's at all of the same groups that I'm in. And it's like, you see this like really gritty, realistic underworld of like people that attend these like social groups. And it's so like much more relevant nowadays.
yeah.
Like there's like, I feel like people are like ridiculous in the way that they conflate Fight Club with American Psycho, and they think that they're these equal films. I'm like, bro, American Psycho
very
is
different.
It's not a good film. I'm sorry if you think Do you think American Psycho is good?
No, actually, I agree with
Yeah,
Xander,
American
but-
Psycho sucks, right? It's got bad lenses. It's so ugly. The color is terrible. The storyline could have been done better. The casting was good, but it was made by Lionsgate, and it was just cheap as hell. Like I just think it's cheap, and it's just rubbish. It's so ugly, and I think Christian Bale did a good job, but that being said, it's not a great film.
Yeah.
No, I think Fight Club is a great film, and it has
I
like
agree.
the visuals of Fight Club are perfect.
Well, it's
They're
David
amazing.
Fincher.
It's
He's
Fincher,
known
yeah.
for extreme details
Yeah.
and perception
Oh,
in his
exactly.
project.
But no, I think there hasn't really been a film that has been as like monumental to me as Fight Club since seeing it. From the modern era, I guess. But I really like the new Dune film. I really liked Saltburn. I really love The Holdovers. I've got to see American Fiction. Have you seen American Fiction
no,
yet?
actually, no.
I really got to see American Fiction. There's tons of films that have just come out. The Wonka film wasn't terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad.
It's not bad. It's
not like-
it's different to what the old Willy Wonka movies were about.
Yeah.
It's like a precursor.
like the old Willy Wonka movies, as in the very old ones, or are we talking about Tim Burton's?
The Tim Burton, it's different to the Tim Burton, and it's also different to the, was it Gene Wilder?
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
it's
so.
different
Yeah,
to
are we
Gene-
talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory versus Willy
Yeah.
Wonka's Chocolate Factory?
No, I'm talking about Wonka versus those two.
Oh,
the Wonka
okay,
movie
yeah,
with
yeah.
Timothy Chalamet.
I haven't
it's very
seen
different.
Wonka yet, but
I mean,
I loved,
it's-
back in the day, I loved Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. I think that's what it was called.
Yeah,
That
Willy
it was
Wonka and
the
the Chocolate
it was the
Factory.
older one.
Yeah, with Gene Wilder.
Yeah, exactly. I thought
think
it was
that's
so
his name.
good.
I'm really
yeah,
sorry
I
if
think it
that's-
is. And I found out about that nobody on so that first scene where he steps out and he kind of does the weird.
yeah.
That was like sort of improvised. So everybody's
Yeah.
reactions were kind of just like normal. And the other scene with
They were actually
in the
like,
tunnel.
honest reaction. Yeah.
in the tunnel, that was real reaction too.
No,
Because
yeah.
like yeah,
That was scary as hell.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah.
My perception on Wonka and the previous Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is that
Yep.
I think Timothy Chalamet kind of tried to mimic Johnny Depp's performance because
Kind
I
of,
saw
yeah.
kind of a similarity between those two.
Yeah.
Because the way that Timothy Chalamet performs in a high, extreme, upbeat,
Yeah.
and hyperventilated kid who brings chocolates to people.
Mm.
Similarly, Johnny Depp did the same performance or similar performance in his Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. But he was kind of a little grim in that. Like he
Mm.
didn't want parents to bring it up.
Yeah.
He hated parents, but
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet was quite different. I'd
Yeah.
say. But
Yeah.
that's the only similarity that I find between those two movies.
Yeah.
Like the acting by Chalamet and Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
But
They're
considering
all-
the storytelling, both are
Oh, yeah.
it's a musical.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
They're
have-
all
yeah, but
all
they've been
three
some
films
hits.
are quite distinct in that sort
Yeah.
of the Wonka sphere or however you want to really
Oh,
say
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know that I really like that though. Like
Yeah.
I like how you can take
Very
something
yeah.
and then it's
take a very different thing.
broadly it's a very simple thing. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's a chocolate factory where you have these like Oompa Loompas and it's magical and it's this and that, right? Like
Mm.
pretty simple idea.
Yeah.
But you can take it and you can do so much more with it to a point where all three sort of iterations of a similar idea,
Yeah.
which are all based on the same book, you know,
Yeah.
are so distinct and so creative in their own way. And they all sort of, I think they all give off a different vibe and kind of a different person will appreciate each of the three of them more. And I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think there's definitely because each film kind of has a different theme, I guess.
Yeah.
Wonka is kind of a standalone film, but the two, they're very bipolar in the way that the Tim Burton is much more darker and
Oh
it's
yeah, it's much more
But
like
yeah. It's
because
kinda got
Willy
this
Wonka,
scary
even the
kind of-
color scheme is so different. Willy
Yeah,
Wonka, you
the
have this
original one.
sort of warmer tones, brighter film, like
Yeah.
physically
it
lighter
kind of
and
makes
emotionally
when he
lighter.
like snaps at the end so much more unexpected. I
Exactly,
guess,
and that was great to me. Like you have
Mm.
this sort of, you can still feel a slight build up. There's scenes of tension just, a little bit before it,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh no, he drank the thing and he went up there and he's doing some bad stuff, and you feel the tension a little bit, but
Yeah.
then he snaps, and you don't expect it because you're like, oh well, he didn't see it. It's fine.
Mm.
The tension was really because you thought he was going to die in the fans, but that was fine. But he
Yeah.
snapped, and that just, you were like, wow.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really good. It made it even more just effective.
Yeah.
It affected you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And I think, I don't know, there's like, when it comes to modern cinema, I'm keen to see what comes out.
Yeah.
There was that, A Force of Nature, like the second Dry movie came out.
Dry.
I still need to watch that movie.
I still have to watch it too, but apparently it's just not that
The
good.
Force of Nature, what's that?
It's a sequel
Eric
to
Bana
the Dry.
playing like
Eric
a
Bana's movie.
detective.
It's
Oh, I
based on a
haven't even
novel.
seen
The
I
Dry.
watched.
Yeah.
Oh, you should watch it.
I watched the Dry back in Melbourne.
What did you think of it?
I liked it. It's a bit of a slow burn.
It is a slow burn,
But
it
it
has
was-
good-ish. It has pretty good visuals.
It does. It really
Yeah.
has good visuals.
Yeah, I think if the same director of The Dry made like sci-fi movies, they would just be like insanely popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he also
Yeah.
did Dry too. But I'd say I guess
Dry. Where did Dry 2 fall off? We both haven't seen it, but
well, Dry 1 takes place near a fictional town.
fictional town, but it's like there's so much tension because
It's near
it's all
Queensland.
like a whodunit.
Yeah.
It's very much like the Oriental Express.
Yeah, like the story revolves around just the main concept of the story was the lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, who
and I
lied?
like how they use different lenses for the past and the present. They use this anamorphic for the past, and it's very like faded, very like soft. And the present had these spherical kind of. Everything's very long on
Yeah.
in the actual like the Dry's like main cinematic style and everything, and like the fact that he's like a federal police officer, and they've got that whole storyline about the girl. Like that is the main storyline.
Well, that's a subplot.
That's a subplot, but yes, there's a main
The main
storyline about
was
the
who killed the wife and the child, and if it's the husband who killed himself,
Yeah.
or if it's someone else who actually orchestrated the entire murder.
Yes.
That's the main storyline.
which I like the twist on who it really was in the end,
Yeah.
but I kind of suspected who it was from the start, just because of the way he looked. I just thought it was him because I looked at him and I was like, I don't like him. But yeah.
Well, in my case, I didn't expect that guy to kill because there are so many people.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
So many dodgy people.
So many
always
dodgy
up
people.
To, like violent activities.
Yeah, but the subplot was
Well, one of the other subplots was interesting about the
who
gay
actually
guys.
killed the girl.
Yes, well,
That
that's
was-
what I
that
was
was-
talking about. I thought that's low-key, that's kind of what I remember the movie for.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember, I do remember the main plot, and obviously, like, that's important, but I really remember the girl story.
Yeah.
That's really important.
The subplot's ending.
Yeah.
It just took me off guard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so apparently this film, Force of Nature 2, has a 47% on the tomato meter.
I know. It's just,
one of the reviews, which I think is a little bit hilarious, is
Yeah.
the film doesn't ask much of Banner except to bark a few orders and gaze soulfully out of a rain-sodden window like a constipated basset hound on a disappointing family holiday.
Yeah.
All of which Banner excels at.
See, the thing, I think I'll have to watch it, but it sounds like he's not faced with the same
Challenge.
there's all of these issues facing him, the issue, there's so many issues in the Dry one, like the Dry, that you're just like, how is he going to get through it all? Through it all, there's so much that's going on, like that kid with the lady and the other stories that are going on and the people that don't like him and the fighting and and the things that happened in the past and the present, and just like there is like so much everything going on that makes the dry. But it just sounds like this second film is just going to be like, it's just an investigation movie, like an episode of Shetland or something.
People say that
Well, that's what the book was for. The Force of Nature. I read the book.
Yeah.
After watching Dry, I read the.
Oh, so
Dry
you
book.
read Force of Nature?
Yeah.
Is it all? Does it have the multiple kind of pressure storylines or?
It was similar to the first one. Yes.
Okay, well that's good then.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just don't. Yeah, okay.
from what I can tell, people are sort of complaining about a few main points.
Oh, okay.
So from what I can tell, they're complaining about sort of a character development. They're complaining that it's not really, in the second film, it's not really that compelling. And apparently it's not a whodunit, it's more of a did someone do it? And if so, why? It's apparently, there's not enough tension or suspense, and there's not enough
Fair.
engagement.
Fair.
And apparently it's overcomplicated and as shallow as rain.
Okay.
So apparently people are just saying it's not really substantial, I guess. There's not really too much substance
Alright.
to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see that one. I don't know if there's any other Australian films. I guess people could write in the comments what.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I mean,
just,
there's
I
Wolf
think
Creek,
Trip
there's-
gone wrong.
There's Wolf Creek. Wolf
yeah.
Creek.
There's the
Wolf Creek's-
sequel, there's
look,
the
I
Razorback.
don't love Wolf Creek either.
Yeah, no, I don't
I
love
think
it.
Wolf Creek had too much hype.
Yeah.
When I was a
There's,
kid, Wolf Creek was like one of those movies like, oh, Wolf Creek, you got to see Wolf Creek. And then I watched Wolf Creek when I was like 20 and I was like, yeah, it sucks.
There's the Razorback, I think it's called. That one about the
seen
big
it.
old hog.
Okay. I haven't seen it.
And it's kind of, it's pretty bad, but it's kind of hilarious. There's like this one particular
What about the
scene-
Red Dog movies?
Oh, I haven't actually seen them.
What about Brand New Day?
I
That's
haven't
one.
seen
That's a
that
good
either.
one. Have you seen Brand New Day?
Actually.
Oh,
yeah.
Planes.
Paper Planes. I've seen some of it.
Wait, I
Yeah,
heard.
What about Oddball?
Oh yeah, I've seen Oddball.
Oddball was pretty.
What about
funny. Like, it was good.
is Alexander and the Horrible? Is that an Aussie film? Or is that
I
a?
watched the first episode of Boy Swallows Universe.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet, but
on
apparently it's
Netflix.
really good.
It is pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
It is pretty good.
I know it's not an Aussie film particularly, but
Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You know what I was thinking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
New
I
Zealand
love that film.
There is also Boy. I haven't seen it, but it's
No, I
Taika
haven't seen it
Waititi.
either. Yeah.
Have you seen that one, Boy, with Taika Waititi?
I haven't seen a lot of Taika Waititi movies.
Okay.
I do like Taika
Thor
Waititi.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, look,
I gotta
thought it was-
rewatch it. I gotta rewatch it.
I
I
thought
thought,
it
it,
was-
was funny when I watched it. So
I thought it was funny when I watched it. I thought it was pretty good. I haven't seen
what's
it
the
more
problem?
recently.
I don't know. Yeah,
Well,
maybe it's not the problem.
actually, I'll admit, Thor Ragnarok was my least favorite Thor
Yeah.
movie.
Damn,
you
was it
seen
just
Thor
because it
Love
wasn't
and
like
Thunder?
as serious as the other ones?
Yeah, the other
Yeah.
two ones, but
What about Love and
but
Thunder?
after watching Love and Thunder, I'd say Thor Ragnarok was far better. Because it
Yeah.
had some serious moments.
I'm gonna have to watch Thor Love and
Oh,
Thunder.
Thor Love and Thunder was pretty terrible.
It-
I think
yeah.
I've rated it Letterboxd at like a 1.5 generous.
one.
I rated it
1.5.
0.
Yeah, look.
What is every? Yeah, I look. My letterbox
And-
account's stupid as hell. I just rate anything.
You know
anything,
what's
to be honest
worse
with you.
Yeah.
about Thor Love and Thunder?
What?
I watched it on IMAX. Waste of time
Oh.
and money in the middle of the night.
Did you see Killers of the Flower Moon?
Because yes, I have.
It's really good, hey.
Yeah, that's really good.
Damn, I really want to see it. It sounds like a great
it's,
film.
It's also slow burn, but it was really good.
I think when you pay attention,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that much of a slow burn. Because I didn't think it was that much of a slow burn, but I can understand how.
What's
people
the
could think-
film that you saw that you were like, there's no way I watched the whole film just then? That felt like nothing.
Come and See. And yeah, Come and See was. one of
Yeah,
those
no, I
things.
agree. I agree.
But it wasn't nothing. It was so heavy. But
yeah,
it like
yeah, yeah. It just felt like it was like a 20
It was
film.
one of those things. It was like one of those films where it's like I don't know what's going to happen next. That just happened.
Oh.
Holy moly! I did not think that was going to happen.
Yeah. It's
And-
a crazy good film.
Yeah.
Like 12 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
honestly,
100%. That was
like-
the most. That's one of the most effective, like affecting films you'll ever
Oh.
watch. Atonement was a cool film.
Yeah.
June Part 2 when I watched it the second time was
Yep.
so quick.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, holy moly! That was like 2 and something hours of my life that I was like, oh yeah, that just felt like 30 minutes.
Damn, yeah. I'm so
There's
keen
a
to watch it.
few-
I've heard amazing things about it.
Yeah, someone was like, there's like a video of a guy like, oh dude, it's better than Godfather, it's better than this and that, and then he like walks out, he's like, it You think that was as bad as The Godfather? Yeah, no. June Part 2 is just so good. No, there's like so much films. There's so much cinema to get into, I guess. But yeah, right now, I don't know. I'm keen to make something.
Yeah,
I made
that'd be good.
Yeknod. That was like the most recent
Yeah,
film.
that was a bloody masterpiece.
I reckon Yeknod would have been good if I actually got to make the storyline
Yeah,
rather than just the
sort
visuals.
of improvising it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a storyline I had in my head about him being stuck in all these different places, and every time he drank water, it took him somewhere else.
He was like
but
LSD laced or something.
I just couldn't. Yeah, I just couldn't. I don't even. It wasn't even supposed to be LSD. It was supposed to just be
Like a
he was just like delusional. I don't know what it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
He was supposed to the old man was supposed to meet him at all these different points.
Oh, okay.
That's why
yeah,
you
but
can
then
t-
we didn't really have
It's
that.
supposed to be like the first place he was supposed to meet him was a desert.
Yeah,
in the
okay.
desert
Yeah, I
scene.
remember that. Yeah, yeah.
And he was supposed to be like,
Where
"You're in
am I?
hell."
You're in hell, boy.
But like that scene became like in like a
that became
grassland
like
or something. I don't know.
That became towards the end as well. Yeah.
But yeah, Yeknod would
I
be
love
fun to
the end of
redo.
it. That ended just like Transformers, the best.
Oh yeah, of course. I had to make it funny. But yeah, I don't know. I think Mo, you should make like you should just go out and film some stuff and turn it into a film. You reckon?
Well,
Yeah.
I have quite some ideas.
Yeah.
You know my ideas, how my ideas
Yeah.
are really dark, psychological,
Yeah.
and very emotional too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Quite recently, as both of you guys know, that I had a really rough. I really went through a rough couple months.
Yeah.
During that time, I re-involved myself into Deadpool storyline,
Okay.
and I kind of wrote this self-depreciating multiversal comedy story skit. Like
Yeah.
there's a version of Deadpool just eating pizzas and crying all day, playing video games and mumbling to himself as he had nothing to solve around.
Yeah.
And complaining that he is still a virgin and he's blah blah.
Gosh.
He's blah blah, trying to find a date who wouldn't kill him emotionally or
So he's like an
physically.
incel.
Yeah.
That's I don't know.
Yeah,
Is that a Marvel comic of Deadpool that's out there, or is that something?
I just wrote
Oh, you wrote it. Okay.
a version of it, and then he receives a call from the other version of Deadpool asking for
cool
help
one, yeah.
to find.
Deadpool in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, that's the exact title that I put it for.
Wow. Nice.
Damn.
Okay. I don't know.
And
yeah.
it was quite funny that script. Like it's not incel. It's more like he's just insulting himself.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want to insult others, but he's just insulting himself that his life is just going completely wrong. He has no money. He's just using his savings to get pizzas and
Damn.
video
Yeah, that's
games.
fair enough. But hey, look.
I reckon
you
that could
know,
be the start of a cool, a Fight Club style movie.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know.
You know, kind of like have
But
this
you
sort
would
of.
really want to add some twists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but-
I think when we were writing Aching Soul, I try to lace in all these twists because I think I'm maybe 10 minutes into the story, but it needs to go way more wild because I wanted to turn. Yeknod was supposed to be this film about the dreams of the main character of Aching Soul.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make this way I wanted to turn Aching Soul. I wanted to do Aching Soul in a very particular way, like this kind of super shallow, almost everything shot on 50 millimeter 0.95 aperture.
Yeah.
Through all these plants and kind of create these beautifully soft, laced in visuals
Yeah.
with these kind of
It's sort of even-
underneath kind of film him as if he was a superhero,
Yeah.
Superman, Luke Skywalker.
Like those angles, yeah.
Yeah, and
well,
kind of
that was always the idea when I pitched in the story.
yeah. But
Yeah.
then the dreams are this kind of ultra wide. It's just nothingness nightmare of just
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not a lot of films I can maybe there's not a lot of films I can talk about. Maybe Blade Runner 2049, but imagine filmed on a 12 mil
Yeah.
lens. That's the kind of
Yeah.
dreams he would have when he was in hell. He was in darkness, and I wanted to create a character where his real life was angelic, and it was this
It was just
the whole
elevated, you
the
know?
whole thing was this, as if it was a wedding video mixed with a perfume ad as a film.
Yeah.
But it was these
But also, there's
nightmares.
a funeral in the middle somewhere. That's
Yeah.
kind of what it seemed to me. The
the-
vision was.
yeah.
There's a
'Cause
perfume
I
ad
think-
and a wedding with a funeral.
But yeah, like the inspiration that we were using was like artwork of like couples in like gardens from like the olden times.
Yeah.
And like that was supposed to be like the coloration of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We could still make Aching Soul. I just don't have any time.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I
fair.
don't have.
Yeah.
I have time. I have like, the thing I have now is money, but I have no time.
Yeah. And the thing I have is
I used to have all the time in the world, but no money. But
Yeah.
now I just have money and no time.
Yeah, for me,
it's
like-
funny how the tables turn
Yeah.
for me.
I wish I could.
It's like
I wish I could get some more money and have the same amount of time I do have because I don't really have that
look,
much time
that's,
at all.
That's the
Well,
one
same
thing
here.
that I think about 24/7. I'm like, damn, if only I had the amount of money I have now when I was in uni, because I would just be I'd be wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and like making some epic stuff and
Yeah.
Yeah, you-
really.
Because
Like-
at the end of the pandemic, I saved like $3,000, and then I spent it within like a month.
yeah, that's fair.
Because I was on youth allowance, and youth allowance was $800 a fortnight back then.
Yeah, well,
Which is like if you worked basically. And I was thinking maybe I should have just worked, but I would have had no time.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah.
but yeah, no, like I think for the film you were talking about, I reckon for that, like,
or
no,
Deadpool,
like the Deadpool
Multiverse
thing,
of Madness.
you need to make it like, yeah, sure, it can start out like that, but then he really needs to like go through this massive change. And
I
like,
reckon it should
you
be
know,
called Deadpool Claustrophobia.
yeah, that's
Well,
good.
that's the kind of
But, you know,
that,
like
that was
sort
the
of break
idea.
away from that sort of like self-victimizing, like, you know, sort of, and then
Self-loathing.
have this sort of mad like cognitive dissonance
You know,
and this
it
fight
really
with
is
yourself.
like Fight Club.
Exactly, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but, and just
You have to
this
fight
mad
with
change.
yourself to.
Exactly.
Yes, because that's like the message of Fight Club. You have to fight with yourself to escape ideology.
Yeah, and sort of, yeah. So like this character in your film needs to sort of just really like massively shift it up, change, like make a concerted effort to change this ideology because
I
like
reckon filming it in like 4:3 and using like a very pastel color.
Yeah.
For the start, like
Well, the thing is that as he's like in that phase, he gets a call from another. Deadpool.
what about the movie Her? That's a good inspiration.
oh,
Her,
that is
yeah.
a good film.
That-
I
that
kind of
was
like
kind of the
that.
I
idea.
haven't seen it yet, but I know that you watched it
I
and
watched
you
it,
had
yeah.
you had weird thoughts about it. Like
Because that was a weird time for me. Like, you know what I mean? That was sort of
Yeah.
this weird, like, I've sort of done a lot of growing since then, but I was very concerned about finding love and very concerned about, like, you know, trying to,
I shouldn't laugh.
you know, I was very concerned about,
we
like,
need to
my
put a little
loneliness.
wall here so that every time I laugh, it doesn't get shown.
You know, I was very concerned about, you know, trying to find love and how lonely I was and this and that. And, you know, almost could have gone down this weird, you know, incel pathway, but I kind of dug myself out of that. But at the time, I watched Her, and it just made me really, like,
It nuclear bombed
it
your
nuclear
mind.
bombed me, and it made me pretty
You know,
sad.
there
when
are
I
quite a
watched
few
it.
films that nuclear bomb my mind at certain points in my life, and I think The Shining, the Joker movie, Taxi Driver, Fight Club, those are movies that like nuclear bombed me, but like in the opposite direction of the people that usually like them, like the people who are like the ones who are like, oh, this movie's me because I'm all sad and stuff. I'm like, no, don't you understand? This movie's supposed to make you like realize that you shouldn't be sad all the time. But yeah, no. So the movie Her kind of switched your perspective.
I don't really think it switched. It just so happened that it coincided with the time I was switching.
It
'Cause
kind of rearranged this.
what it
puzzle
did actually
in
was
your
kind of
mind.
just made me
It-
really like sad for a bit and
Yeah.
made me go wow. Like, but then I was also like, but hang on a minute. Like, what is this movie? What does this film mean? And what was it like doing? And what is it about?
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, it was this guy that was like fell in love with
Open.
this AI that kind of transcended him and fell in love with like a million other people, and then, you know,
Yeah.
sort of AI and the sort of the network of personal AIs, AI assistants,
Yeah.
transcended humanity and became their own sort of thing and elevated and had their own language and stopped communicating with humanity.
Yeah.
And that was sort of like, at the end, the tragedy of it all was because he went through this whole like phase of, he was really, I guess, paranoid, and he was like, oh, do you really love me if you have all these million other people and you know,
Yeah.
guys and girls? And then at the end of it, the truest tragedy was they kind of worked it all out, but then, and then the AI was like, I have to leave you. I'm
Yeah.
transcending everything. And
Damn.
yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know. It's like 9 o'clock now. It's like 9:10. So I guess, you know, it's been an hour. It's been a good show. Yeah. Is there any final thoughts?
I think, you know, just try to get some wider,
Widen your film.
widen your film knowledge, widen your perspectives on different things, and just look for some good films.
And try to learn new skills.
Yeah, definitely. Always go for get some creative outlet, try to get some more skills, and see how you go with that. But I think, yeah, that's pretty much it for the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you, all 59 of you.
Thank you all 7 of you for watching. The best audience is the smallest audience, as I like
Exactly.
to
And
say.
so ours must be infinite so far, because
Ours is the number one in the
Exactly.
world. The number one least viewed podcast, at least listened to, actually. We don't even have visuals.
Exactly. So it's also the number one least viewed
No,
podcast.
it's
Well,
exactly.
I'd say your least viewed podcast will be the best viewed podcast in the world.
There we go.
Exactly.
All right, everybody, thank you for watching. Subscribe and comment and do whatever.
I mean, thank you
and
for listening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
too.
Whoops.
Yeah. But yeah,
All right,
we'll see you next time,
yeah, we'll
gamers.
cut these mics.
Boom.